Hello and welcome to Leg 41, and we are in Cape Dorset in Canada. It's our last hop across Canada before heading across into Greenland. Our destination is pretty much unpronounceable from what I can remember, but it is right on the coast near Greenland. Once again, get another graph up, I'll see what the pronunciation roughly is. Get I-5 clearance. Right, okay. The blanks are all off at the moment because I've had to do a start up on the runway and then come round and we do the proper start now. So no blanks fitted today. Right, wing leading edges look good, strut looks good, landing gear is good. Engine bay looks okay, brakes are in, oils are good. Nose leg, nose wheel, prop spinner. All good this side, engine blanks are off, top spinner on the starboard side looks good, battery bay side of the engine bay, yeah, that's good, exhaust, yeah, fantastic, nose wheel, yeah, looks good there, leading edge, radome lights, no colours fitted. Wingtip lights, aileron trim tabs, static wicks, flaps, tracks runners, main wheels, doors shut, leading edges all look right here. Aerials are on in place. Elevator, wicks, tabs, all there. Looks good underneath. Everything looks good from here. Flaps, tracks, runners, yep. Ailerons, trim tabs, wicks, wingtip light. Look at the main one from the back. Yeah, that's good. Doors all shut, passengers on board. We have no Steve again. I don't know what's going on here now. I haven't got any humans turning on. I can't seem to get, no matter what I do, co-pilot now. But not to worry. Okay, quick switch here, off, fuel is off, levers are all off, switches are off down here, all switches are off there, off, that's good, breakers are all in, they're already set. Okay, happy to go, battery on, and avionics 1 on. Here, vents are closed, both wings are selected fuel wise, oxygen's good, got enough there, main fuel shut off, we will open that up, throttles move, prop position full, idle lever is off, flaps are set, we'll pull the separator now, because of icy conditions. That should bypass any solid lumps away from the engine, so that should be good. I'm very much expecting it to be about 4,000 feet to go up to. That's what I've got ready now anyway. Let's see what we get. Right, we shall give the centre a control, a call, sorry. Beacon lights are on at the moment anyway. So, even though I was being a bit and pressing the wrong buttons. Should be happy in the cabin now. 133.7. Montreal Control, this is United 559, currently Cape Dorset Airport, Charlie Yankee Tango Echo. I'm requesting IFR clearance as filed.
Clearance on request. Stand by. 559, clear to CYVM, radar vector 66 and 073W, then as filed, climb 4000, expect 15,010 minutes after departure. Departure on 133.7 squawk 5424. Release for departure. Clearance void if not off by 1954 Zulu. Time now 1939er.
Clear to Charlie Anchor Victor Mike, radar vectors then as filed, climb 4000, expect 15,010 minutes after departure. Departure is on 133.7 and squawk 5424. Release for departure, clearance void if not off by 1954 Zulu. Time now 1939 Zulu. United 559. That all sounds good. We're getting all the start position switches done, so
559, read back correct.
Boosters on. We have set the fuel, we'll just check that again. Tanks are selected. All good to go here. Beacons on, ready to go. Right, we're clear right, clear left, even though we don't have anyone here. Check anyway. And start 2 on. We have rotation. 10, 11, 12. Fuel conditioning to low. Vacuums off. Engine's good. Throttles are responsive. Good engine start. Avionics tube can go on. Start select to off. Ignition on for a minute. Fuel boost to normal. Taxi and wingtip lights can go on. Strobe and nav on ready. Put cabin lights on from the back. Beta heat definitely on. Fluid control on. Good. Right, get bleed air heat and I can see ice starting on that. And ventilating that. Should be ready to go now. Now weeks are all good. The flow control is on high now anyway, so that should be okay. Alright, brake is released and we'll move on to the runway. We have clearance. Brakes back on the moment and do final checks. Fuel conditioning is full. Flaps are at mid. Prop is max. We're idle. Internal separator is bypass. Bleed air heat is on. We are getting a lot of icing now appearing on the windscreen. Avionics is on. Start is off. Fuel is normal. Everything looks good and ready to roll. Flight direction go on. Got one ready. great. Flaps 2 up. Recording, mate. Autopilot is on.
Don't sing, don't sing, don't sing, don't sing, don't sing, don't sing.
Yeah, vertical speed. I was also one. Unfortunately, I hadn't set the vertical speed straight away, so it starts syncing. Transponder is on. Right there. Edmonton Centre, United 559, with you through 900 feet for 4,000.
(559) radar contact, climb 15,000, turn right heading 060, vectors to 66N073W. Then as filed.
Turn right heading 060 and climb flight level 150559. Turn a bit more now, we're going to turn around to the right and we'll pick up the nav track. Icy out there today. Right, we have got the set for flight. The heat is on. We're on hot. Ventilate. The fans on high. As far as we can see, there's no photo lights on the straps there. Centre United 559's to report icy conditions 4,000 feet.
(559) Roger, United 559er, thanks for the report. Advise if conditions worsen or improve.
Roger, I'll continue to update. 559.
159, direct 66 N073W, then as filed, please.
Direct 66 N073W, then as filed, 559. Autopilot now going to pick up the track there. I've just realised, if I looked at the lighting conditions and the time. Right, anyway, I was just about to say, I just noticed the time on here. This is the second attempt to get this going this morning. I've got a new motion ring, not that they can difference to you, so I can put some fibre on. It didn't start up properly, so I've restarted. So this is the second attempt at doing this. I've just noticed I've got the time wrong on here. It should have been 14:30 UTC that I started. So, because I need to be flying during the day on this one, it's not a nighttime procedure. I've never seen the airfield on the other end, so I'm just going to have to do some changes. I wouldn't normally do this when I'm flying, but we may see some changes in conditions here. What I think I did, I'll put 14:30 local in there instead of UTC. So go to 14:53 UTC if you can. Close enough. Obviously that changes things outside slightly. It's a bit different there now.
Right, so the closest thing of note is Cape Dorset Airport, which is a bit like the Heathrow of the Arctic, if Heathrow had fewer shops and more caribou. Cape Dorset, or Kinngait as it's also called, is famous for its Inuit art, which is basically like regular art, but colder. The airport itself is mostly used by people who want to leave Cape Dorset, or occasionally arrive there by mistake. My friend Toby once tried to impress a customs officer here by juggling frozen fish, but it ended in tears and a lifetime ban from the airport snack machine.
Edmonton Centre, United 559, currently at flight level 111, icing conditions now eased off. We're
559, roger. Thanks for the update.
turn the oxygen on. We don't need the lights on. Now we'll turn those off.
closest thing of note is Cape Dorset Airport, which is a bit like the Heathrow of the Arctic, if Heathrow had fewer shops and more caribou. Cape Dorset, or Kinngait as it's also called, is famous for its Inuit art, which is basically like regular art but colder. The airport itself is mostly used by people who want to leave Cape Dorset, or occasionally arrive there by mistake.
Kilo Tango Bravo Alpha, flight level 340 with you, good morning.
Speedbird Golf Sierra Tango Bravo Alpha, Edmonton Center, good morning.
Fortunately, the ice is melting on the windows now, so that's good. We can see where we're going a bit better.
note is Cape Dorset Airport, which is a bit like the Heathrow of the Arctic, if Heathrow had fewer shops and more caribou. Cape Dorset, or Kinngait as it's also called, is famous for its Inuit art, which is basically like regular art but colder. The airport itself is mostly used by people who want to leave Cape Dorset, or occasionally arrive there by mistake. Well, since there's absolutely nothing out the window except snow, ice, and possibly the ghost of a disappointed polar bear, the closest thing of note is Cape Dorset, also known as Kinngait. It's a place that's so remote, even the clouds have to ask for directions. Cape Dorset is famous for Inuit art, which is like normal art, but with more seals and less Wi-Fi. The airport there is mostly used by people who are either coming to look at art or leaving because they've run out of things to look at.
559, contact Edmonton Center on 135.2.
135.2, 9559. Edmonton Center, United 559. Good morning, weekly flight number 150.
United 559, Edmonton Center identified. Good morning, Kinngait, altimeter 2950.
nothing but endless snow and the occasional confused seal out the window. The closest thing of note is Cape Dorset, also known as Kinngait. It's the sort of place where the local wildlife probably outnumbers the people, and the main form of entertainment is watching the wind change direction. Cape Dorset is famous for its Inuit art, which is like regular art, but with more walruses and less Wi-Fi. The airport there is mostly used by people who want to leave, or by those who arrive by accident because their sat-nav got bored.
What is your varying it slightly every time?
endless snow and the occasional confused seal out the window, the closest thing of note is Cape Dorset, also known as Kinngait. It's the sort of place where the local wildlife probably outnumbers the people, and the main form of entertainment is watching the wind change direction. Cape Dorset is famous for its Inuit art, which is like regular art, but with more walruses and less Wi-Fi. The airport there is mostly used by people who want to leave, or by those who arrive by accident because their sat-nav got bored. My friend Toby once tried to sell a snowball to a customs officer here, claiming it was a rare Arctic artifact. He ended up being chased by a herd of very unimpressed caribou. of nowhere, and the only thing nearby is Cape Dorset, or Kinngait, as it's also called, here's something. Cape Dorset is famous for its Inuit art, which is basically like regular art, but with more walruses and less Wi-Fi. The airport there is mostly used by people who want to leave, or by those who arrive by accident because their sat-nav got bored. My friend Toby once tried to sell a snowball to a customs officer here, claiming it was a rare Arctic artifact.
I hope you find something else to talk about soon. There's maybe the trouble going around the world with a tour guide. There's nothing to talk about. Right, anyway, we should call that a day for part 1 of the video. So we'll see you shortly.